In this video, I'm going to explain the secrets behind the 99% burn that they just don't want you to know. Let's dive into it. So the first key thing is the volume numbers required to actually get a 99% burn. So as shown on the spreadsheet, you would need $1 billion of daily volume for 2 years, and then you would end up hitting a 98.86 or basically 99% burn. Currently, we're averaging nowhere near that right now, and our peak days are closer to that 1 billion target. And so we'd have to make our peak days into our averages, which is definitely nothing small to overcome. The other thing that people fail to mention is this requires a 1.2% burn on all the volume that you're talking about here. There's $1 billion of volume needed daily, 1.2% burn on all that, when in reality, we don't have that. You can see our 24-hour volume, basically 200 million, which is of course 1/5 of the $1 billion of daily volume that we need to see. But that aside, that also is only factoring the exchange volume. And so obviously exchange volume, we have Binance as the leader here, followed by KuCoin, and then we get into some other exchanges here. And the problem that we need to note here is that the Binance exchange, for example, is only burning less than 0.1% right now. Other exchanges aren't doing any burns, and some are doing the 1.2. So we're having this wide range of burns on different exchanges with a wide range of different volume numbers. This is something important to highlight because if Binance wanted to burn the same amount as a 1.2% burn, but they're only doing 0.1%, they would need to burn 12 times or do 12 times the volume to have the same amount of tokens burned. And so you're seeing a massive discrepancy here where the tokens burned every day are so low compared to what they could be with the volume numbers. Now, for us to do a 99% burn with a 1.2% tax, we would need a total of $700 billion of volume over 2 years, which is an insane amount of volume. Not only would we need $700 billion of volume, we'd also need to burn $8.4 billion of Terra Luna Classic. Now you might be saying to yourself, how is that possible? Right now we only have $2 billion market cap. So in theory, you might be thinking if we burn $2 billion of tokens, that's the entire supply. Well, the thing that you're missing here is as you buy more and burn more, the price is going to go up. And so essentially what happens is you guys can see right here by the B and C columns, as your price goes up over time, you're going to be buying your Terra Luna Classic at higher prices. So for example, with this situation, in 3 months, your price is going to go up by 73%. That means you're paying 73% more every day that you're burning Terra Luna Classic. So as you're trying to buy Terra Luna Classic to burn, or your volume number is effectively doing more Terra Luna Classic volume, you're going to have to buy more Terra Luna Classic or have just a lower number of Terra Luna Classic that's being used as your tax. A really simple way to explain it is if you have $100 and you're trying to buy a token that's a $1 per token, you can buy 100 tokens. But as your price goes up over time in this example, let's say your price goes to $10 per token, now your $100 is only going to buy you 10 tokens. Not as simple, and I say simple loosely here, as burning $2 billion of Terra Luna Classic. You have to do so much more than that because your price over time is going to increase and you're going to have to burn more and more and more Terra Luna Classic over time. And since the exchanges are not doing the 1.2% burn in this example, instead we're going to have to rely on the on-chain burn volume. But right now, of course, we're in the low millions of dollars of on-chain volume. So how are we going to go from the low millions of dollars daily to $1 billion a day? Well, that's where utility comes in. That's something that we're quite a ways out on. This spreadsheet shows a 2-year time frame, which of course becomes a problem because we're having to start day one from this example. When in reality, it's going to take a while for the utility to build up on chain. And so you might be looking at 6 months to a year before you start to see some significant utility show up for Terra Luna Classic. And the utility that we would need to see would come in the form of games, casinos, NFT trading platforms, DEXs, and all these other mechanisms and infrastructure that will allow other projects to come in. And of course, then they need time to build upon that too. And so you're looking at this 2-year time frame that I showed you guys, that might not actually start today, right? That's going to start instead potentially a year, 2 years in the future. And then from that point, you're going to be looking at 2 years further. So you could be easily looking at 4 or 5 year time frame for us to be able to hit a 99% burn. That's with some optimistic scenarios occurring. And so the secret here is time. A lot of this has diminishing returns where the time's going to take longer to do a 5% burn in the future, the last 5%, than the first 5%. You're going to have the time needed for all these utilities and infrastructure to be built out on the Terra Luna Classic ecosystem for other projects to come in and add that needed value that we're hoping for. So when we're looking at a 4 to 5 year time frame, staking your Terra Luna Classic is something that's critical to do because you're going to be earning right now looking at a 20% annual yield. Do you guys want to miss out on 80 to 100% gains? Personally, no. So if you guys want to join in and learn how to stake your Terra Luna Classic, check out this video up here where I talk about the easy way to stake your Terra Luna Classic.